Welcome to Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is episode number 273, Flying High. You ever had one of those days? It was just a beautiful day. I mean, a wonderful day, an amazing day. Whether you're on vacation at the beach and the sky is the perfect color of blue and the ocean is amazing and the breeze is awesome and it's just warm enough and the sand is packing beautifully to build sandcastles with, and you see dolphins skipping in the waves out on the horizon. You go out to eat together, you have a beautiful meal, the kids behave, everyone has a great time, there's plenty of laughter. You go back to the place that you're renting and staying. You play games, you're up kind of late, but nobody gets cranky. It's just a really great day. You absolutely need to keep track of those days. You keep track of those days in your own mind, in your memory. You keep track of those days with your kids and your grandkids, whether that means that you take photographs or you print off a photo book of, say, an entire trip. You just want to have the means by which to remember those days when you're flying high. Because I promise you, as we've talked about, for example, Christmas, you have this huge buildup and you finally get there and it's Christmas and it's Christmas week and it comes into New Year. Boy, after the beginning of the year, boom, it bottoms out. It is inevitable in human experience that after times of real highs, lows do come. And it is an actual fact that highs and lows go in a cyclical motion. I want you to learn how to look for and take great joy in the flying high kind of days. You get a promotion, you have a wonderful time in the beginning, though you meet certain frustrations and have certain challenges in learning the ropes, but still, it's an amazingly good time to finally obtain that which you have longed for and worked hard for. You get your nursing license, you graduate from college, you get married and you go on your honeymoon and you buy a new home and you have your first baby or your sixth. You just have some of these moments in life that are very beautiful and very celebratory, and well, they should be. I want to encourage you to take notice of flying high days that aren't associated with anything special. They just come. As I shared with you a few days ago, I recently made a pretty major move. And in the midst of so many frustrations and wild and crazy unexpected events, etc., there were some real flying high moments. I had a really wonderful time with a good friend of mine. We were able to spend a lot of time together. She helped me a good bit because of my physical limitations and what I was not able to do by myself in this move. She was with me a great deal. Had a lot of awesome conversation, meaningful, deep conversation, heart to heart kind of talks. And that is honestly, to me, a flying high thing where we were able to share at such a significant level, and it was amazing. And I noted those moments, and honestly, I believe so did she. In the times where things did not go as expected or there were difficulties, other people were around me and they were being supportive, thoughtful, helpful, encouraging. Those were really flying high moments to me. I can honestly tell you, in spite of all the difficulties and the challenges, I would say in general that the flying high moments far outweighed the difficulties. And a lot of that for me was in relationship to the people that were with me and the ways they supported me and helped me. On the converse, I want to say this to you. As a parent, you can be a huge part of your kids' flying high moments. And I think that you should. As well as look for opportunities to be part of that in other people's worlds. When someone's been having a challenging time and you say, why don't you let me take you to lunch? Or why don't you come over to my house and we'll have a mini spa day? And you just get a couple of tubs of water and let your friends soak their feet in Epsom salt. I realize, guys, you might think this is weird, but I promise you it may not be as weird as you think. Uh, and you put lotion on your feet, and you just put your feet up and sit back and have an iced tea or a lemonade and just spend an hour or two together. Or maybe for you guys, it's going out on the golf course when you haven't taken that time out to do that in a while. Or just take your friend to lunch. There are things in our worlds where nothing helps us or soothes our soul or meets the needs of our life like someone who genuinely cares about us. I've talked to people a lot, and they definitely have had flying high moments, and mostly it was always when it was shared with someone else. So that's why I'm saying to you, you can be a part of your children's flying high moments. You can be a part of your friends. You can actually facilitate them happening. And I would encourage you to think about that and look at ways, explore things that you might do that might contribute to that in another person's mind, whether that's your child or your spouse or your best friend or someone that just is important to you, that later on they're going to go, wow, I really remember when this happened. It was kind of a challenging part of my life, or things were really okay, but they made this so very special and let me know how important I was to them. And it will always stay in my memory, that flying high time. So I want you to think about that. My challenge question for you today is this: what are the times in your life you remember the most vividly as a flying high time? And is there a way for you to reproduce that for someone else that you love and care about? Because I really think that if we get creative and we're willing to consider, there are a lot of possibilities of things we can do. One time on my former husband's birthday, I kidnapped him from work. I literally went to his workplace. I got permission from his boss to do this. Told him he was off for the rest of the day, that he wouldn't get into trouble. Put a blindfold on him and put him in the car. It was in May and it was a pretty nice day, so I rolled down the windows and we drove around for a while. And he kept trying to figure out by the sounds that he heard and other things where we were, where we were going. And I drove for quite a bit, even though the place we ended up was only about 10 minutes away. If you drove directly, I think I drove him around for around a half an hour. We would stop at stoplights, and he's kind of a crazy guy. He'd yell, "Somebody please help me, I'm being kidnapped." And people would look over, they'd crack up and stuff. They knew it was kind of funny. So I took him to this park, and at this park, I already had laid out this really great picnic. Most of you know that I was a chef when I was younger, so I can definitely cook. And it was just really beautiful. Probably spent 2 hours there in the quiet beauty of the park in nature, eating and just spending time together. It was a great day, and he always said that it was probably one of the best birthdays that he ever had, that was a real flying high moment to him when he realized how much he meant to me and how committed I was to doing special things for him. I want you to think like that. What kind of flying high moments can you provide for your children, for your spouse, for your family, for your friends? What can you do to help their life be more meaningful, more beautiful, more amazing, even if only for a few moments? You need to teach your children the importance of building up other people's lives. And one of the ways to do that is by helping to provide them with some flying high moments. I'm so glad you've been with me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. I will be looking for you soon. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.